Dating Expectations, Part 2. Listen in.
Your family dynamic is going to be totally different from the person that you're with. So you might get in too deep and be like, wait a minute, I know your family thinks we're coming over every single weekend now, or we got to go to every function.
If it's like that and he tells you, that's something you got to make sure that you're, and just that. And another thing you got to think about too is another one that's kind of a major one, money.
Yes.
Money. We have talked about this on other episodes about money, because I have spoken to so many different couples, and especially if you are dating and you decided to get married, but you haven't really gotten. Let me say this: you're dating. The man proposed to the girlfriend. Now they become engaged, and now they're thinking about moving in together while they're engaged. Here's the money problems right here. See, it was a difference when you were just dating and I can handle my money over here the way I want to. He can handle his money over here the way he wants to. But now we're coming together in one unit. This is where you get a chance to see all the flaws.
I mean, I think you have to really talk about that. That's like major, because I think money is made. I mean, well, you'll see. I think it starts off with your expectations of when you're dating. Do you expect that you never pay and he pays for every single thing, or does the guy thinking like, well, dog, I don't pay for this. You gonna ever pay for anything? So it starts from there, and I guess that's kind of like how you end up dictating how the thing is navigated, so to speak, because it's like there's people that expect a man to pay for everything. There's guys that think, well, we should go 50-50. So like you said, by the time you get to where we're deciding to live together or get married, you should have some major serious conversations, and that's when you got to have some uncomfortable conversations, because everybody's expectation is different. Because you could be like, oh, well, my dad paid for everything for my mom and did everything in the house, and he could be like, well, my mom did everything. Unfortunately, I was from a single relationship, so I'm looking, my mom might have got remarried or my dad got remarried, and they went 50-50. So that's like one of those difficult, uncomfortable conversations that you have to have before you even get to that point to say, okay, because everybody's going to come with their own expectation and idea. And I think you kind of see when you're dating as far as who's paid for what, why do I got to pay? That's when you're like, okay, well, you should pay. That all gets kind of real gray quick. You got to get out of that gray zone fast. So, I mean, because like you could be like, you need to pay for everything. And I could be like, well, I think we should pay 50-50. And, so you have to just kind of decide or I pay for this, you pay for the utilities, I pay the mortgage. So you just kind of have to, that's a conversation that you're going to have.
Right. What do you think about moving in together when you are engaged?
I think it's different for everybody. It's going to be different for everybody because, I don't know, that's a tricky one, because at this point, we probably both have a house, you know what I'm saying? So do we just stay at your house, or we rent my house out? What does that look like? Because I feel like when you move in together, somebody is going to have to move out if it doesn't work. So what does that look like? So, now, if we're engaged, chances are you pretty much know that we, hopefully, knock on wood, that we're going to stay together. But, I mean, you have to decide, like, does one house have a bigger house, one have the smaller house? We rent your house out, because I don't feel like I need to sell my house until I know for sure we get married. No?
Right.
What you think? I mean, I think that's a good indicator if you moved in with somebody, that you'll see if this is, because you're really going to get to see the stuff that you don't see when you don't live together.
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
The elder of the Church of God and Baptist Church of God in Christ, Methodist Assembly, Catholic Church. No, I'm just kidding. But I would say I would never have told anyone to move together until they got married. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But
after being married?
Sometimes after being married, and if you're engaged, that just means to me that you're saying we're getting married. I think people need to see sometimes. Now, I'm going to say this. You can still do the same thing without actually being married. You can be over at that person's house. You can watch how they do things, you know, all this stuff. But you can't see, and I take that back. You can see how they pay bills. Because if you're with someone and your man is constantly asking you to help him because he's a little short, can you give me 50 here? Can you give me 100 here? That may be an indication that you might not want to marry him until he can hold it down.
The pattern's not going to change after you get married.
That pattern's not going to change.
Who they are.
Right. Now, this is just me. I look at the man as the head, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And because the man is the head, and hear me, I'm not saying I'm not going to help or don't want to help, but I need to know I can follow this person and trust their decision making. Because if you are constantly asking me for money because you're short on your bills over in your area, in your own home, I'm not saying us together, because once we come together, I do believe that his money's my money and my money's his money. But when we're in a separate, we're dating or engaged, and you're always having problems with your money,
that means you're not ready. I look at it as like you're really not ready for that next level because you're still trying to get your own house in order.
And I don't want to put a man through that. What I mean by that, I wouldn't want to constantly have to call him, hey, I'm short, can you help me? I'm short, can you help me? Now, some people might say, well, you're a team, it shouldn't matter. It does matter because we
got my
want
own
to come
obligations.
We have our own obligations, but when we come together, we want to complete each other, meaning we can come in and already be complete. You see what I'm saying? Two complete people, to me, make a whole. You get me? And the thing about this, so if he's got his stuff together and I got my stuff together, that means we're not going to be stagnant. That means we're going to be rising up higher than ever before. Because now, if situations like this pandemic hit and people were out of work, then guess what? Then we're helping each other, baby. I got $10, $5 yours. You get me? You see what I'm saying? You know, and like one of your exes said years ago, what did he say? If he had a quarter, what did he say?
He got giving me 15. He's taking 10. I'm getting 15.
See, that's what I'm talking about. You know, and that's how I feel in my heart that I would do. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna make sure but if it's consistent, you know how I am.
Yeah.
I back off real quick. I'm like, dang, you know, you're not, and that will bring out the type of woman that a lot of men say they don't like. That's that woman who comes out and says, I'm not going to keep giving you my money, you see. But they'll say, and you know, in our conversations with many men, you know, she comes off, I don't like it when they come off acting like they too good. No, they're not too good. Their struggle, they came out of their struggle, and they are not trying to go back in their struggle.
Girl, no, because once you get out, you ain't trying to go back if you can help it.
Right. So that's
And I just
it.
feel like if you're just asking me for something, then like you said, I think was it you or one of my other friends was like, he's not ready. Like you shouldn't be asking. Why are you asking a female for money? And then the guy could flip it and be like, why is she asking me for money? But I just think, like you said, if you're asking all the time, then that means you're just not ready to move to that next level. You need to still get your own stuff in order. I can't help you get your stuff in order, and that's gonna mess. Then I'm taking away from my own stuff. We all come with stuff.
Right. Denise, one of our homeboys said this: when a girl knows that they're doing well and they go on a date, the first date, he said, everything's always fine. The second date, pretty cool. By the third or fourth date, oh, what's wrong? Oh, I don't want to talk about it. Well, what's going on? I'm so embarrassed. I'm short on my mortgage. You're short on your mortgage? Yeah,
yes, girl.
You know, come on. And
I know a lot of guys
for women to do that, y'all, women, come on. You don't even know this guy yet. You trying to ask him for some money?
And be bold with it, Tanya. I'm sitting there looking like, because if somebody asks me, I don't care. If you just ask me, yo, you think you can help me with my car note? I'm looking at you like you got two heads. Like, no. I just met you. Like you said, I'm short on my rent or mortgage. Like, girl, you better go get another job. That's what I'll be looking at too. Like, if I was the guy, you better get you a part-time job. The heck?
And I feel like even if you, and to me, you know, that man may have thought of you as a franchise player. But once you do that, do you think they go down on the end of the totem pole?
You're going to trade it. You're getting traded. You're going back on the practice squad, girl. You on the practice squad. Try again.
Right.
Try again.
Right. So there's just things that we as women got to look. Okay, what about this? Let me get my acting skills up. You need to go and get some gas in your car, and you need to go. So you. What about this? We have been around sisters who have done that growing up and around, and you know, all around us, all through life. What do you feel?
Okay, I think about it like this. So dating, I feel like, and maybe that's just, you know, and I know a lot of people, because me and one of my girlfriends was talking about this, and it could be wrong, that we think that there's certain things that men should just do. Like, if your girl, take her car to get it clean. You see it's dirty. I mean, you riding around with you, because we know guys like to have their cars clean. Most of them are.
Right.
She's driving or here or whatever. Let me put some gas in her car. I don't see anything, little things like that. Because just like I feel like women, when you're dating someone, there's little things that you'll be like, well, let me just do this for him because you just want to. Now, little things like that I don't see. I just think that's being thoughtful.
Mm-hmm.
But if someone's asking me, you know, I feel like that's kind of crazy. If I was a dude and a chick was asking me to pay her bills, that would be a red flag.
Right. And, you know, and then I think it's the way we talk to the guys, too.
So that's part of what your expectations are. Some women should be like, well, as a man, you should do these things as a man. And a dude could be like, as a woman, you should be doing. Those are your expectations. So if those are your deal breakers or what you, like you said, your expectations of what someone should do, that's something that's just your expectation. And if that person doesn't do it, then that's when you decide, hey, these are things that I feel like a person should do that I'm dating.
Right.
It can be man or woman.
Right. So we both agree that there's a lot of things that we have to think about before we can get to them relationship goals or while we're in our relationships, you know. Both of us have dated. Both of us been, you know, taking our time, you know, not trying to do that because, you know, again, there's a lot of stuff involved in dating and you have to really make sure, you know. And One,
Yes.
we both been married once before, so why would we rush anything? Think about that.
Right, exactly.
Why would you rush anything? Get to know yourself. Get cleansed out. Get ready for that next person. But it doesn't have to be all quick. Do you believe some people cannot act as if they can't be without someone?
Oh, I know. Serial day is like you just, even if it's in a bad relationship, you gonna stay in it because you can't be by yourself. I mean, like, people been talking about J-Lo. Once they give her a hard time, they talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
They said she was single for -5 days and already back with her ex. So
no, and you know what? I gotta talk about that. I'm sorry. You know what? As much as I love her, hear me, I don't really say nothing. But I'm like,
take a break.
That reminds me of how we used to act in high school. I'm sorry.
Or 20-some years old. It's like, it's okay to take a break. That's why I think people stay in situations longer than they should, because they feel like they can't just be by themselves. And you might meet the right person after you've taken a break, and you can actually see the big picture of the things that you need to work on yourself,
right?
The things that you're not going to accept from somebody, things that you accepted that you didn't like, but you stayed in it. But just it's okay to take a break. You ain't got the world is not going to come to an end. The world is not going to come to an end if you single for a little bit.
And yeah, because when I saw that, I was like, sis, you're beautiful. You got it going on. You're successful. You have children. You don't need to rush into anything. Now, as a friend, hey, we all have friends, you know, but don't rush into something just because you're familiar with it.
Right.
Watch him. He had his own issues he was dealing with, you know.
Right.
So that right there was kind of a red flag for me. And that you're right. Let's go back. Some people want to stay in relationships because, well, it's cheaper to keep them, you know.
Or I'm familiar with his craziness. I don't want to go try to start,
you know,
see what somebody else. But somebody else could be exceptional. You don't know because you stand in mess, scared to see that one day you might get exquisite instead of getting chopped liver. Okay.
And like that lady told me years ago, you walking around here with your boyfriend, walking right past your husband.
Exactly.
Decoy.
Exactly.
Man, D, I really like this episode, sis. Did an awesome job. Well, we want to thank you all so much for tuning in to Sister Logic. Thank you so much. You're awesome. Keep listening. Keep subscribing. Thank you so much for being a great support. Have a great day. D, you want to say anything?
Thanks, everyone. Make sure to download the app and tune in for future episodes.
All right.
Send all your questions and feedback. We love it.
Yes, send your questions in. Please. Keep on. We love it.